Hi guys, this is Vijay. So today we are going to talk about AWS Complex VPC design. So I have this design. So our goal is to create the three different VPC. So scenario we have here is, so we have a company. So let me show that. This is the scenario we have. Your company is about to purchase the cutting edge technology, which is AI application. And as part of the agreement with the application vendor, your company must create the special network configuration to host AI system. Okay. And these are the requirements. So they're saying that the system isolated the such client separate from the network other than the AI network. Okay. The AI application network only allow the traffic from the network hosting the SSH host. Okay, so SSH and AI network should be communicating through the, and any traffic initiated from the AI application must leave through the single network connection that will initiate discard such traffic. Neither the AI or employee network may host route and the devices access to the internet. Okay, so AI and employee traffic should not go to the internet. However, as such client wherever it's sitting, so all the traffic will be landing on the security zone. Then from security zone, it should be accessing the your employee should be accessing the AI applications. Okay, the SSH client must have access to the internet. Okay, for the uh, developer libraries and ETCs for upgrade and all the things. From your company internet security team, all the traffic outbound to internet must pass through the company's data scanner. Okay, so this is the scenario here. Okay, so we have AI network. Okay, in the AI network, what I will do here, this is AWS. AWS. Okay, our requirement is create a three separate network, which is for one is for the AI app, second is for the employee access network, and second is a security network. Saying that between the AI network, okay, and in employment, there should be communication, application traffic. Okay, so these clients should be able to access this AI network. But for the internet traffic, AI should not directly expose to here. Okay, what it should be doing here. So always traffic for the any external, any traffic if employee want to talk to outside, saying that always traffic should go through the one security scanner. Okay, that's our requirement. So what we are going to create here, we are going to create three AWS VPC, okay, with the three different subnets. And we will use this VPC for transit communication. So this is kind of, we will create one transit gateway and we will associate these for the communication. Okay. So first thing is what we are going to do here is I have the lab already up and running. Okay. So let me open that. So just give me a second. This is the lab I have. Okay. So I have one region. This is the Virginia East US East one. And this is the username and password. Let me log in. So first thing is what we are going to do here is, so there are multiple steps, task basis we are going to do here is, okay. So first task is we will create the IP pool. Okay. First task we are going to do here is, let me copy paste this. So first task is to create a, yeah. So first task is to create the IPMI server with the pool of the IP address, which we are going to eventually use for the all the VPC. So whatever VPC we are going to create, we are going to use VPC. VPC will use the IP address from that particular pool. Okay. Then we are going to build that employee BPC, then AI BPC, then security BPC. Then we will create the transit gateway for inter BPC communication, this communication. Then we will create one routing for the internet to the security communication. Okay, security BPC should be accessing to the outside. Okay, so let's create the first task. So first task is I have this IP address. I'm going to give if we are 0.0/8. Then I will say that from this pool, each BPC should be getting the /24 IP address. So what I will do is I have this BPC. So let me copy this. From this copy, this BPC, what I will do here is I will get that as a such BPC. I will get as a 170.0.0.0/24. Okay. Then I will AI will also get that 170.0.0.1. For example, 0/1/24, for example. Same thing for the security DOM, security BPC, 70.0.2.0/24. Okay, this is my goal. So what I will do here is I will create the IPMI server and I will set this setting in the AWS. So I already have the account of AWS. So let me open this account. Where is the AWS account? Okay, so let me reload this. Okay, so I already have, if you see here, I have nothing created. I have single domain, which is this one. And I'm not going to use multiple domain. If you want to use a multi-availability zone, definitely you can use that. But for me, this is just a testing lab. So I have just single domain for everything. So let me create that IPMI server. So I will say that the IP address management server. This is the BPC IP address management server. This is good practice to use that. I will create the IPMI server. Okay, so let me give IPMIs, then create it. So allow, then I will give the name AI system IPMI. This is for the AI deployment. Okay, then the reason I'm not going to select because I already have default, just single reason. So this is okay. Then I will create it. Then once you create that, I will go to the pool and I will create the pool. I will say that, okay, this is the IPMI private, which is okay. And I will create this global AI pool, call that global AI pool, okay? Then I will say that local use this one. Then I will put the CIDR. I will say that 170.0.0.0/8. It will give me that all the IP address. Then I will say that auto allocation. It means I don't want to control the location, just allocate the IP address to BPC dynamically. I will say minimum one length, default one, all the hosts should get to /24, and the maximum is /26. Okay, then I will create that. Once you will see that, once I've created, this service must be available before we create the BPC. So just wait for a second. Once this become available, the second task is to create the BPC and three BPC, employee BPC, AI application BPC, security network BPC, and allocate this IP range to this each BPC domain. Okay, so once you go here, services is available. This is the available. If I go to the IPMI, this is created. Now I will go to the services. In the services, you will see BPC. Then I will create the BPC one by one. Create BPC. I will say employees SSH BPC. How many BPC we have? Employee SSH BPC, then AI app, then security. So I will give the AI employee BPC only. Done. Then I will say that allocate dynamic IP address. Then you can choose your pool. If you have one pool, two pool, based on that, you can choose that. I have single pool, and that's the dynamic default one is /24 is taking because of the pool. And I will create it. Same thing for the another BPCs. So let me go to the create another VPC only. Then I will create this AI app network VPC where my application will be setting, AI system will be setting. Okay, this is SSH host. This is the scanner, security scanner host setting over here. And I will set dynamic allocation, which is okay. Done. Then third VPC security scanner. So I will go to the VPC, third VPC security scanner, dynamic allocation, create. Okay. Now, if you just go and see that how many VPC we have. So we have employee VPC, SSH VPC, security scanner VPC. Okay. And this is the default, which is okay. I don't want to use the default one, default VPC. Okay. These are the non-default VPC I have. So if you see here, we see these IP addresses have been allocated. These IP address have been allocated based on the creation of the VPC. Okay. Now, what I will do here is, just give us, if I go to here. So what I will do here is, once you create this VPC and associate the VPC, now we need to subnet in our VPC. Once you've done that, what we will do here is we will allocate public IP subnets for the each VPC. So I will go into the subnet. Okay. Then I will create the subnet. I will say which VPC I want for SSH VPC. I want to create for employee VPC, SSH VPC. I want to create subnet name is, for example, I will give public SSH subnet. Then I will create 170.0.0.128/26, right? And do not touch this because this is the default which has been used. One is created, same thing I will create for the other VPCs also. Then I will create for the AI, right? So for AI also, I will use the same name and I will create this 170.0.128/26. This one is also done. And I will create the new subnet for the public IP subnet for the security scanner. Okay, then 170.0.2.128/26. Okay, done. Now three subnet is created. Now at this point, you have created the three VPC and which design needed here, which design needed. Okay, now we need to begin the configuration, begin the work for the routing traffic. Now we will start now creating the transit gateway. Okay, once you configure these all the VPC, once you configure this all the VPC here, these and allocate the IP address, now we will establish this communication. Transit gateway means we are going to create one virtual router inside the AWS, and we will associate these, attach these VPCs into that router for intercommunication, for routing exchange. Okay, so what I will do here is I will go to dash simple here. Sorry. Then I will go to the VPC again. Scroll down. You will see that one option, transit gateway. In transit gateway, I will click transit gateway. Then I will create transit gateway, which we call that I will name this gateway AI Global Transit Gateway. Okay, description if you want to give description. I don't have VPN services, so I will just select the VPN here. Then I will leave the default everything. Then CIDR value, I will select public CIDR for transit between the VPC 10.10.0./24. Okay. And yeah. So once you create this gateway, done. So you will see it's pending. So let's wait for a second until this become the available. Do not move for any other configuration. This is the best option I can think of. Otherwise, you can do it also. It's up to you. If it's the details, this currently has this detail 10.10 subnet for inter VPC communication. Once this becomes available, if I go inside this transit gateway, this is what we have currently. Okay. So if you say here, associating routing table address detail, state is pending, ASN, we have not configured anything, which is okay. Okay, so let's see if that is created. Transit gateway. It takes some time to become available. Meanwhile, once you have the transit gateway, okay, so you can just directly here, you can just change the name also if you want to change it, okay? Otherwise, no need to do that. How you create that? You just go here and create that. So ASN, you can leave the default or just want to uncheck any services which you do not want to use that. That's fine. I want to propagate a default route. I want to associate a route in the routing table. That needs to be, should be doing, you should be doing that. So transit gateway. Well, now this has become the active. This becomes the now active. Now we have the global transit gateway. Now deploy the VPC or attach the VPC to this transit gateway. So what I will do here is I will create the one policy in the transit gateway. I will say that transit gateway attachment. In the attachment, I will attach one by one all the VPC. Okay. So what I will do here is I will say that SSH VPC attachment. Okay. Now I will drag down where I'm going to attach this SSH VPC attachment. AI global, then which VPC type? This is VPC type, DNS. Which VPC? Employee VPC. Employee VPC I want to attach to it. Okay. And check. This is okay. Which is okay. Then I will say that, okay, so I've created one attachment. We call the such VPC attachment. Then in the global transit gateway, which VPC? I want to attach my SSH VPC. Okay, now I will submit this. I will submit this. Subnet ID is already selected because of the dynamic selection. Okay, then I will create the transit gateway. Same thing I will do for the AI and the security. So what I have done here is I have created one transit gateway here. Okay, now I have created one attachable profile and I have attached this VPC here to here. Okay, same thing I will do for the AI also. So the moment, if you see here, if I go inside the transit gateway, if you see here, this SSH subnet, which is which one? This subnet must be available in a transit gateway routing table. So what I will do here is I will, once it become the active, okay, then transit gateway will be coming. Routing, transit. If I go here, if I go associated routing, propagated routes. No, not this one. So if I go to here, available, if I go transit gateway, this is okay. So what I will do here is I will click on the here source ID. I will not check here. If I go to the transit gateway, I should be getting the routing table here. If I get routing table IP address, click over here. No. So if I go here, I should be checking the routes in the gateway, transit gateway, propagated route, prefixes, routes. If you see here, look here, not here. So it says that this particular, which is the SSH VPC IP address now inside the transit gateway. Now, if once this one is also associated, both the IP address will be available inside the transit gateway and they can freely talk to each other. Okay. So now I will do here is I will create the another attachable profile here. Okay. And I will say that I will create saying that what should be the giving the name? Uh, I should be giving some different name. Earlier, what I use here is I used the SSH VPC attachment, right? So same thing I will use for the SSH. I will use for the different name for the this VPC. So I will say that AI VPC attachment. Okay, then I will select that this VPC type. Okay, here I will say AI network. Okay, then I will say create. Same thing I will do for the security. Then I will say that security, or rather small the security. Okay, then I will say attach to it. Which one? Security scanner. Now create. Now, if you see inside the transit gateway, once let's see that I have created the tree transit attachment and attach into the transit gateway. What I did here is I attach all these subnets, which I would say rather I have created one BPC, and inside the BPC I have attached each and every BPCs. So I have created here transit gateway. Okay, and this is we call the transit gateway TZW. Now I have created the transit gateway attachment TCA transit gateway attachment, and here and have attached this transit gateway to this transit gateway. Okay, and since they have this IP address allocated to each of these BPC, these subnets will be visible here. So if I go to the transit gateway here again, so let's refresh the page, and we should have many transit gateways. So let me refresh the page. Okay, so let me clear this. See here, 3 transit gateway I have created. Okay, so if I go to the any of this transit gateway as such, transit gateway here, and the transit gateway, then I will say routing table, prefixes, routes. Look here. What is say that in the transit gateway router, I have all the 3 subnets now, which are propagated from the BPC. These are the resource ID of the BPC. Okay. Once you configure the BPC, which is second task. So what I have done here is I have created the IPMI, all these 3, then I have created the transit gateway. Okay. Now I have attached the transit gateway. Now the 5th step is along with the transit gateway, I will configure the custom routing. The custom routing says that the only SSH between the here, if I say SSH between the AI and the AI network and the employee SSH VPC, only SSH traffic must be allowed. Okay, and have default route between the employee SSH VPC and the where. So let me draw that here. My requirement is between here to here, SSH must be allowed. Okay, now between here to here, default route should be configured. Okay, for the outside communication to the scanner communication. So let's do that. So what I will do here is I will Let's configure that. So employee SSH routes, we have to ensure that traffic to the AI VPC is only from the employee VPC. So what we have to do, make sure that here is, so currently, if you see here, each and every VPC are associated to the TGW, Transit Gateway W, right? Now, we have to ensure that only between here to here, communication is established. This here to here should not be directly allowed. And between here to here, only SSH will be allowed. So what I will do here is, I will go to the network ACL. So by default, what happened is, in that by default, this kind of filtering is not available in the transit gateway. So if you have the one transit gateway and associated with the multiple VPC, and you want to make the VPC to VPC communication restriction or traffic control, you cannot do that. That's a limitation we have in that we have for the transit gateway. So what we can do here is we have the inbound SSH. So we will create the inbound and outbound policy from the security section. So I will say the network ACL and ACL, and in the NACL I will say that what NACL in the network ACL. If you see here, employee SSH and AI is there, right? So what I will do here is I will create the network ACL, and I will say name allow SSH from employee to SSH VPC. Yes, I will say allow SSH from employee to SSH VPC network. Then I will say that attached to the AI app. Okay. Then create this VPC. Once we create this VPC, oh sorry, ACL, what do we have to do? Network ACL will be displayed here. Okay. So what I will do here is I will select this inbound and outbound rule. I will check here inbound and outbound. If you say everything is denied by default, so the inbound rule, I will modify this rule and I will add the rule saying that if any traffic, this is the rule number 1, any TCP traffic or SSH traffic, okay, it's from source 172.0.0.0/24 allow. Okay, then I will save. Once you've done that, this is the inbound SSH traffic route and limit. We have created that. Okay. Now you have you have limited inbound SSH traffic and route all the internet bound traffic through the security VPC. Now we have to do that. Okay. Now internet access, if you see here, what I'm trying to say here is this is done. Okay. This is communication is done. Now what we have to do here is all the SSH traffic should also go to the internet. That's second thing. So what we have to do here is we have to configure the default route. Currently, this has 170.0.0 subnet. Okay, but if you want to this VPC want to go outside, it needs to go point somewhere with the default route. Okay, so what I will do here is I will accomplish this routing. We will create the default route in the employee SSH VPC, because employee SSH VPC will be talking to the security scanner. Okay, not the AI. So what I will do here is I will go to the VPC. Okay, inside this VPC, employee SSH VPC. Then I will say that main routing table. Okay. Then I will go to the routing table. If you see here, currently this has just one subnet. Okay. Then I will say edit route. In the edit route, I will say add route. I will say that 0.0.0 pointing to the where? To the transit gateway. Because through SSH, SSH is communicating to this security through the transit gateway. It has no directly connectivity. Okay, just to make sure that it is going through the transit gateway. So let me draw that. it is going via the, sorry, it is going via this one. Okay, so we have to configure here. So what I will do here is, sorry, transit gateway, then I will say that save the change. Okay, save the change. Once you're done with the default route configuration, now at this point, traffic outbound to the internet will leave employee SSH to the transit gateway. Now, we now need to create the default route on the transit gateway, okay, for the internet accessibility. So what I will do here is I will go to the transit gateway. It's a bit complicated still, but this is pretty much once you open with it, it will be okay. So I will get transit gateway. I will say that transit gateway routing table. Okay. In the routing table, what I will do here is I will click on the routing table, routes. In the routes, so routes, then I will do here is create the static route. Okay. I will say that static route, which is default active, where I will create for the security scanner. Okay, I'm telling this guy, I want to access your network using the default gateway, default route. It means if someone is trying to access the internet, they will come to me, which is as such employee, right? From as such employee, I have to tell this gateway, this router, I I need routes for the security uh, scanner. The thing is currently this has 170 subnet. Okay, why we need default route? Because this transit gateway has only the this subnet access. But if someone suppose this such host want to access 8.8.8.8, right? How they going to access that? They will send to here. Then this will router will say that I don't have anywhere to go except these routes. So I have to say that default gateway to the security scanner. Then from security scanner, I will create the different internet transit. Okay. Once you've done this, create the static. Now, internet traffic from the employee, what I have done so far. So let me draw that. So internet traffic from here, it reaches to the security scanner VPC. Okay, now from here, we need to go to the internet. Okay, so for inter VPC communication, we have created the transit gateway. For VPC, for outside communication, inside the VPC, we have to create the internet transit and associate the security scanner to the internet. So what I will do here is, so if I go to the here, internet transit gateway, currently there is one attached to it. I will create that one time transit gateway. I will say that security scanner internet gateway. Okay, security scanner internet gateway. This is something I will name. Then I will say that create it. Okay, once you create that, you have to attach the VPC. If you see that currently there is no VPC, no attachment. Okay, so I will say action, attach VPC. Which VPC you want to attach? Security scanner, right? Then attach the VPC. Once you attach the VPC, what you have to do? You have to create the routing also, right? So what I have done here so far, I've created a internet transit gateway, and I have attached here. But I need to specify the routes also, right? Where you want to go and which route you want to send to the internet. So what I will do here is I will click on the route table. In the route table, I will create that routing. Then I will say that rather here, just give me a second. So I will not create here. I will go to the security scanner VPC. Okay. Then I will say that I will say security scanner. Then I will say that where I want to add the routing table. So on the routing table, currently saying the SH to the subnet, then internet gateway is there, but this is also fine. I want to create the routing, so which I will say that. So I will go to the routing table. Okay, in the routing table, I see that security scanner, right? So I will click on the security scanner, and I will say routes. So in the route, you have just single route. What you have want to add here is you want to create the another route. I will say route, edit. I will say 0.0.0 point to where internet gateway, IGW. Okay, is it right? Appointed internet gateway, security scanner, IGW. Then I will save that. Okay, this is all you have to do in order to get that. This is pretty much simple. You just have to follow that. So what I have created here is created the VPC on AWS. Okay, created IPMI, IPAM, you can say, for the IP pool. Then I've created the uh, public IP pool. Okay, and associated to VPCs. Okay, that's second thing. Then what I have done here is I created the transit gateway. Transit gateway. Then I've attached VPCs to the transit gateway. Then I have created the added the routes on SSH VPC towards transit gateway. Okay. Then I have added the routes on transit gateway towards security VPC. Okay, that's the second thing. Then I have created internet gateway, then attached IG internet gateway with security VPC. Now added the route on security VPC. Next hop is internet gateway. This is all we have done. Since I don't have any application running here, so I would not be able to test that due to the lack of time. But this is the overall architecture how you design. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in next session where we are going to explore more AWS options. So in this section, you have create, also this is important for the how to create the VPC and all these things. Okay, how to create the ACLs. Yeah, ACL is also created for some kind of connectivity because the reason is for the network ACL is because transit gateway we cannot create that any filtering in the transit gateway. That's the reason I created the network ACL for the traffic which need to communicate between the AI VPC and the SSH VPC. Okay, we'll see you in next session. Thanks for watching.